NBC5 News and Access are in the final weeks of our So Close to Homeless discussion. Throughout this series, we've introduced you to people who lost their home for a variety of reasons, from losing a job to going through a health crisis.
Yeah, and tonight we're meeting Brandy Barnes, who was living out on the street selling drugs. Her wake-up call came up in jail, and she says that her life has been forever changed.
NBC5's Natalie Weber has her story.
I am not invisible. It's an important message and the theme of an annual event honoring women veterans at the White City VA. From the speakers to the audience, these veterans shared experiences where they felt invisible to male service members while on active duty and even to people back at home. A traveling display is aiming to change that.
She saw what she had felt every single day as a woman veteran, and it just screamed at her from 22 2x3 posters.
But for Brandy Barnes, she's felt that twice over.
I immediately felt invisible. Everything that I wanted to do in life and everything that I had thought was going to happen just crumbled.
Barnes tells me she was sexually assaulted by her sergeant in the first year after joining the Army. That was back in 1991.
I joined the Army right after high school. I actually graduated early and went into the Army.
When she was honorably discharged after the assault, her life took a downward turn.
Suffered with my military trauma for 25 years, and in and out of jail, homelessness, drugs.
After years bouncing from house to house, she began living in her car with a single focus.
It was really all about drugs and getting more drugs and selling more drugs, and it was just a crazy way to live.
But she says it was an arrest that changed her entire life.
I went to jail in March of 2013 for drug charges and found out when I was in jail I was a couple weeks pregnant.
Barnes tells me she's been clean ever since that day.
Something changed when I was in jail. I found God, and He gave me the strength to change everything about myself.
She got out of custody and into a couple local programs. It was then that she first realized she was a veteran.
I didn't realize that I was a veteran until I was clean and sober. When I left the mom's house, I went to the Hope House, and one of the first questions they asked me was if I was a veteran, if I'd ever served in this service, and I was very ashamed and said yes, I had served in this service.
While she was ashamed, it was one of the first times Barnes really felt seen and not invisible. In turn, the help she received inspired her to help others.
I would like to be that glimmer of hope. I want to show them that there's light out there and give them a resource or a community partner phone number or a blanket or a hot meal or something that they can rely on and they can know that they deserve better and that they can actually do something to change their situation.
In White City, Natalie Weber, NBC5 News.
And there are several resources to help. If you or someone you know is struggling with homelessness, you can certainly find them online at soclosetohomeless.org, as well as the So Close to Homeless Facebook page. Meanwhile, the results are in for Oregon's most recent homeless count, and this year's count was conducted back in January. The count found nearly 14,000 people in Oregon are without homes. That's a 6% increase from the last count in 2015. 12% of the homeless were under the age of 24.